Hey everybody, Payments Professor here. And today, it's a Who Is Wednesday. On this Who Is Wednesday, we're going to learn who is the Third Party Payment Processor Association. Now I happen to have with me Marcia. Marcia is from TPPPA. Did I get that right?
TPPPA.
TPPPA, I like that. Well, who is TPPPA?
Well, TPPPA is a trade association for payment processors and banks. And we were created to create industry best practices for payment processors. And we realized very quickly that when you create best practices for payment processors, you're leaving the bank out, and that's the most important. The banks are directly regulated, payment processors are not. And so creating best practices for the banks and then taking the requirements that a bank has and imposing them upon the payment processors actually addresses some of the concerns of the regulators. Payment processors are actually a hybrid of a third-party vendor and a client of the bank. And where banks have failed in the past is to address the fact that this is third-party risk that they're dealing with. So if they take some of the same kind of rigor that is expected of banks in their third-party risk management and apply it to the program that they have for their third-party payment processors, that then provides an opportunity for the regulators to understand that third-party risk is being addressed. In addition to that, the other thing that is typically missing within a bank program is the fact that third-party payment processing is its own distinct program. It's its own distinct product. And the reason that it's distinct, it may be a little bit of ACH, a little bit of check, but it's distinct because it has its own distinct risk profile. And so therefore, the regulators expect that the banks are putting in the same kind of program due diligence or product due diligence that they would for any new product, whether it's internet banking or remote deposit capture. We all remember going through that kind of rigor to get those new products up. Regulators actually expect that the banks are doing the same things for their third-party payment processor programs.
So, Marcia, if I understand you right, you're basically telling me that when it comes to banks working with third parties, banks themselves, they have to have like onboarding processes. They have to have risk controls in place because we don't want something to happen that hurts the economy or hurts the systems, the payment systems. But these third-party processors that are out there, they should be applying the same concepts, have the same things. So where do they get training, education, tools to be able to do that? Is that something that you help them with?
Oh, absolutely. The way that we're set up is, we want to be able to distinguish the good guys from the bad guys. And in the category of good guys, there's an awful lot of perception that there's bad guys, and it's actually just ignorance. And so being able to deal with those things that they don't know, help them to understand that, addresses that. So we expand the good guy category with the regulators in the industry, and then you shine a light on the bad guys, and we can go after the bad guys. And that's really what best practices are all about.
And I know when it comes to third parties, I've been in the industry for a lot of times, but our listeners out there, our viewers, they may be new to the industry and may not realize, is there anybody out there who's got a voice for the third parties that's out there saying, these are what third parties are doing? Is anybody out there actually voicing the concerns and what they're doing for them?
That's one of our primary concerns. We're looking at advocacy, leadership, and support.
Awesome.
Advocacy, is not just going and talking to members of Congress.
Right.
We know that that's not always effective. The main advocacy that we do is we go and talk to the regulators, and we advocate on behalf of third-party payment processors, banks, and even the companies that third-party payment processors are working with the regulators. We've talked to the CFPB, we've talked to the FTC, we've talked to FinCEN, and we've talked to all of the bank regulators. And we have constant dialogue with the CFPB and FTC because consumer protection is the most complicated compliance requirement that there is out there. And what people don't really recognize is that when you're talking about consumer protection and knowing your customer, you need to know your customer's customer and what are the obligations that they have under consumer protection laws, as well as the money laundering and the BSA laws. And that's what we do. So we provide that advocacy. We even bring members. We do fly-ins and we bring members, teach them, how to talk to members of Congress or regulators, and they can come along with us and be a part of the voice.
You actually bring them in to let them be part of it. Wow.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you're not
absolutely.
just collecting information through some surveys. You're talking to them. You're
yeah.
getting them involved.
Yeah, for
Wow.
sure.
And y'all, she mentioned a lot of organizations out there. Like I heard FTC, and we've got other videos that are on there. But in this video, we really just wanted to focus on who TPPPA is, or the Third Party Payment Processor Association. Now, one last question. If there's a third party out there who happens to be watching this and they want to be a member, what do they do?
Contact us. We're at the Third Party Payment Processors Association. We call ourselves TPPPA. Our website is www.tpppa.org. And if you do membership at tppa.org, then you will reach either me or someone on our staff that can get a hold of you right away.
Excellent. Okay, for this Who Is Wednesday, that's who TPPPA, or the Third Party Payment Processor Association is. Y'all have a wonderful Who Is Wednesday.